Oh, he's escaped. Whoa!
Hello, my name is Andy. I am the Brit in Hungary, and today I is on a big ship. Just steaming down like the western side of the island at the minute. I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but there's just a thick pall of smoke. I don't know if you can see that, heading all the way right down to the south of the island. Well, we're on this ship for another 13 hours, so may as well enjoy the cordon bleu cuisine. I didn't actually check the itinerary of the boat, of the ferry, but it looks like we're kind of heading towards Crete, so I think we might be making a big stop at Crete, possibly Heraclion, I imagine. But we'll see. It's a bit of a magical mystery tour of the Aegean at the minute. So not Crete, Carpathos, apparently. Yeah, a bit of reverse parking. That's just showing off, isn't it, really? Nicely done, Captain. Here they come! Okay, slow ahead. Impulse power, Captain. Yes. This kind of terrain, it reminds me of, there's an absolutely fantastic, rip-roaring Jules Verne book and film actually called The Light at the Edge of the World, and it's the story of a lighthouse keeper, and his lighthouse is hijacked and taken over by a load of pirates and wreckers, and he kind of escapes, and he, like, one by one he bumps all the pirates off. And it's kind of like a 19th century Die Hard type movie. It's absolutely fabulous, and it's got one of the most hysterically funny, like, screen murders of all time on it. And I remember watching it when I was a kid and, like, nearly wetting myself laughing. And I'm thinking about it now, and I'm still, like, almost wetting myself. It's brilliant.
How dare you come into a lady's room like this?
Nice! Well, that was pretty slick. So the next stop is Crete, Heraclion. But it's going to be dark. It's going to be about 10 o'clock, and I might be asleep by then. We'll see. Final stop, Heraclion. Woo! Oh my God, everybody's leaving. Okay, thank you, little ship. Goodbye. Well, after an epic ferry journey, yeah, we made it. I tell you what though, for 30 quid, that's the best Aegean island cruise you will ever get. So yeah, paid, yeah, I think it was 31 euros to be on a boat for 16 hours to visit 5 Greek islands. It was pretty bloody good actually. Yeah, it's not too bad really. But yeah, anyway, we're here in Santorini. So yeah, I'm one of those people that can sleep through anything. So I had a really good night's sleep last night, but Kitty's a really light sleeper, and yeah, I don't think she slept at all last night. So she's currently like zonked out on the sofa. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm kind of hoping we can go to the beach soon. So that's the plan. Beautiful. Very nice. Bloody hell. That was an epic voyage to get here. Well, we is here, look. In a volcanic paradise. Yay! It's quite funny. We tell people that we arrived from Rhodes, and they seem to think like, oh, poor you, are you okay?
Survivors.
Yeah, you're survivors, you're refugees. And I haven't actually got the heart to tell them that it was planned. You know, we actually planned to leave Rhodes when we actually did. It was just a complete coincidence. So yeah, we're enjoying our status as refugees. But yeah, we've got up fairly early today. It's like it's a really small island with lots and lots of people on it. It's just rammed full of tourists. So we've decided to get up early and do some exploring before everything gets completely rammed. We're heading up to the north of the island, which is very picturesque, to a town that we haven't worked out how to pronounce yet. But we're hoping somebody will help us with that shortly. Yes. Oh dear, epic fail on the beating the crowds trick. Oh well. Bloody hell, it kind of makes you long for the old social distancing days. Oh God, are we there yet? Okay, we're here. Oh, just rammed full of people again. I just fucking had enough now, really. Oh, just for once I'd like to walk and not shuffle. Fucking hell. We're here, yes, in, how do you say it? Oya, yes. And it's deserted. Beautiful, tranquil spot, unspoilt and everywhere. God, might kill myself. So it's very pretty. But what I'm more interested in is this part, the volcano. Nice. Kitty has just told me to stop moaning, so I'm going to try to stop. But it won't be easy. So what's probably lost on most people here, but not me, because I'm a super geek, is this is the site of one of the most apocalyptic things in recorded human history. Massive volcanic eruption here, 1600 BC. Colossal. Yeah, the explosion. It well, they don't really know, but up to 40 cubic kilometers of stuff went into the air. Yeah, and it made a mega tsunami, and it hit Crete, which is about 150 kilometers that way, with a tsunami about 150 meters high. Yes, which wasn't the best of news for the Minoans who were on that part of the island. So the remains of the volcano is the little island that's left in the middle, and it's still mildly active. It's a little bit steamy on some days apparently, but they say if you've been to Iceland you'll be very disappointed, so it's probably not worth a day trip. And yeah, the whole island is just in this sort of circular shape. And a lot of people imagine that the middle part was blown out during the big eruption, but it was this shape pretty much when the Minoans were here. It was completely surrounded with just like a tiny gap for them to get the ships in and out, so it was the world's most perfect natural harbour, which is probably why they were here. And it was this kind of ring shape because the volcano had erupted a few times over the previous, I don't know, 100,000 years or so, and it would sort of grow, then collapse on itself, grow, collapse on itself, and sort of it just left this ring of islands around the main caldera. then the big one, yeah, about 1,600 years ago. Archaeologists haven't found any human remains, which means that the Minoans had the sense and plenty of warning to get off the island before it went off. But the tragic irony is that most of them went to Crete for safety, and then Crete was basically, or the whole Minoan settlement in Crete was pretty much obliterated by the volcano anyway. So yes, bad news. Yeah, so there was several eruptions to get people plenty of warning. Most of the Minoan settlements have been buried in like meters and meters of ash and pumice. And like I say, no human remains, so everybody must have got off okay. And then at some point in one of the eruptions, the magma chamber collapsed. Seawater, millions and millions of tons of seawater flooded in, like flashed to steam instantaneously, created a massive overpressure, and it just blew the top of the magma chamber off and caused an absolutely humongous explosion, which is responsible for the big tsunami. So yeah, like I say, it's a real, disaster tourism, which I'm quite fond of. So it's quite a good place to come. It's like probably one of the most apocalyptic events in the history of man. And all these people started taking selfies and buying freak magnets, and it really pisses me off. After everything I said yesterday about not going on the volcano trip, we decided to go on the volcano trip today. So at the minute we're enjoying a few minutes of peace and quiet, and then we've got to go on another hellish bus journey back into Fera with all the millions and millions of people. So yes, we will see. Well, that's quite a view. Yeah, so we're going that island, just there. Blimey, that's the way down. Donkey! Okay, onwards and upwards, or downwards. Hello mates, feeling a bit hot? I'm not sure that it should be making you work on a day like today really, but I'm not allowed to complain today. Poor things. Ooh, the treacherous descent is made even more exciting with large lumps of slippery donkey poo everywhere. That's lovely. But I'm not allowed to complain today, so yeah. Oh, they look absolutely fucked. Poor things. Hello, mate. Oh, I think I might get trampled here. Ooh. Right, oh god, that was a bit real. Yeah. Whoa. Big volcanic adventure. Kitty is suffering a little bit. Her bad back is playing up, and it's 44 degrees, and I think she's suffering a bit with the heat. So I think I might be doing the volcano hike by myself. Yeah, it's hot. It's really hot, and there's no wind today. And it's not a lot cooler out here on the boat either, to be honest. But, God, it's hot. Whew. 1, 2, 1, 2. So from what I can gather, the whole Atlantis myth started Plato. He wrote a story. It was for his philosophy students, and he was trying to make them understand about hubris and how pride comes before a fall. And the Atlantis myth was part of the story he told. But the interesting thing is, even though it was a fictional story, the place he describes is an advanced civilization that lived on like a ring of islands with only one little gap for sailing like in and out of the port. So it kind of bears a resemblance to this place. Yes, it was a bit before Plato's time, obviously, about 1,000 years before.
But it makes you wonder if he was using, like storytelling, from, generations of people, like an oral tradition that had been passed on from generation to generation. So the story was kind of part fable, part myth, part true, based on like oral history. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But the strange thing is, apparently, when archaeologists first started digging here, they found like the evidence of like multi-story buildings, centuries or millennia before anyone else had like worked out how to do it, and advanced plumbing, hot and cold running water. Imagine that. So you can imagine if you came here from the ancient world and saw all those things, you'd be, I don't know, it would be like meeting aliens or something, because of the technology would just blow your mind. So all of these things, Plato's description of the island and this advanced civilization, it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder if this was the place. Oh well, that's the boat. That's Chios, the boat we were on a couple of days ago to get here. Coming from the other direction this time. Still climbing. My God, this is hot. I'm still not like 100%. I didn't have heat stroke, heat exhaustion the other day. I'm fairly sure it wasn't, but it's like in the back of my mind now. I'm just I don't want to have another funny turn at the top of a mountain, really. I'm sure I'll be fine, but it's f***ing hot. There's a whiff of sulphur in the air. A whiff. Oh, it's getting... look! We've got a smoky hole. Or a steamy hole. Yeah, brilliant. A bit of activity. Can you see that? Awesome. Hey, and we got some lava. Awesome. Yay. We love volcanoes. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I apologise, but I just love these kind of places. I just love this kind of violence of nature. Nothing pisses me off more than people who talk about the delicate balance of nature. There is no such thing. You walk through a forest and it looks really, really pretty, but it's a war zone. There's the trees are fighting each other in the air for sunlight, and under the ground the roots, they're doing all sorts of dirty tricks for water and nutrients. It's a fight to the death, last man standing, and there's nothing delicate about it. And it really pisses me off. It's kind of like what happened on Rhodes, the forest fires and everything. It's awful. It's awful what happened, especially with the people who live there. But people are talking about it being an ecological disaster. And true, if you're a pine tree, it's a bit of a bummer. But if you're like any other plant that hasn't been able to get a look in for centuries because of the trees have like overcrowded everything, then for you it's an ecological paradise. In a few weeks, when everything's calmed down, all your seeds will germinate. There'll be plenty of sunlight and water for you to grow. There'll be patches of wild flowers that will attract new insects, butterflies, and a whole host of animals that'll feed on those insects and butterflies and everything. The whole food chain that wasn't there before, because the whole place was completely dominated by pine trees. So yeah, it's an ecological disaster if you're a pine tree, but on the grand scale of things, it's an ecological paradise. The biodiversity is going to go through the roof because of that forest fire. So yeah, balance of nature, my arse. Oh crap! I just remembered. I promised I wasn't going to moan or complain today. Oops. Never mind. But anyway, look how beautiful this is. It's tremendous.
So last day, we're just checked out. We're homeless. We're about a 50-minute walk away from the airport, and we've got 4 hours to kill. So we decided we're not going to. I don't want no more public transport. So we're just going to have a really steady walk along the beach to the airport. Just trying to see what happens. Oh my God! Hey, made it. Well, that was an interesting little walk. Close encounters with a few aeroplanes. Woo.